Hi guys, today we are going to start talking about inequalities. These are the symbols that you're going to see with inequalities. The big difference between an equation and an inequality is that your inequalities are going to have these symbols attached to it as opposed to an equation that's going to have just an equal sign. The good news is when solving these, as opposed to like a one-step and a two-step equation, you solve it exactly the same way with a one and two-step inequality. So let's review these symbols first, okay? So what we have here, first we have less than. The next one is going to be greater than. Obviously, there's all kinds of ways people memorize these. One that I like is that this less than symbol looks like an L, okay, for less than. And then obviously the greater than does not look like an L. Okay, so that would be greater than. Obviously, you've heard of the alligator. The mouth is open to the larger number. There's so many different ways of memorizing this. These next two are just slightly different because of this line underneath them. And that line underneath them stands for equal to. So this first one is going to be less than or equal to. And then the next one is going to be greater than or equal to. So let's look at these within some problems. If I was going to say I want you to write a problem that shows that x is less than 10. So x is my variable. Less than, I know from looking at the chart up top that the symbol is going to be here. And that's going to be, then I'm going to write 10. And so that is a complete inequality. What this actually means is that x can be any number that is less than 10. So let's write that out. X can be any number. I can use a different word here and say smaller than 10. So the purposes of this problem, x could be 9, it could be 7, it could be -5, it could be 0, because all of those numbers are less than 10. So on the flip side of that, if I wanted to write x is greater than 10, that would look like this. X, again, is my variable. Greater than symbol is here, 10. Okay, so again, this would mean that x can be any number larger than 10. You'll notice that I'm not including 10 in here. So if I were to say x is greater than 10, 10 cannot be x cannot be 10. Okay, so however, x could be 17. It could be 11. It could be 200. Any number, though, that would be greater than 10. Now, if I wanted to include 10 in that, let's go ahead and let's box these off here. So for the purposes of taking some notes here, it'll be a little easier to read. So if I wanted to include 10 in there, I might need to put x is less than or equal to 10. So that's how this would read. X is less than or equal to 10. So for this problem, for this x could be 9, 8, 7, or this time it could be 10 because we have that equal sign underneath of there. Another point to add into this is that x, if I were to write x is less than 10, that would be the same thing if I wrote it this way. I can write it either of those ways and it actually means the same thing. All right, let's erase this. All right, just one more thing for today. Some of the problems you might see in your practice today would look something like this. And so what this is saying is that n plus 3 is less than or equal to 10. It wants to know if n equals 4, would this be true or false? And so for this, all we're going to do there is plug in what the n is for 4. So 4 plus 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7. So I bring down the symbol, bring down the 10. And so what I'm asking now is 7 less than or equal to 10? It is less than or equal to 10, so that statement would be true. One more of those. 4h is greater than negative 20. If h is equal to negative 4, is this true or false? So again, I'm just going to plug in the negative 4 for the h. I'm going to copy everything else down. Then I'm going to solve the left side. So 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. And my question is negative 16 greater than negative 20? If you were in my classroom right now, I'd have you look at a number line because that's a good indication there. But negative 16 is indeed larger than negative 20, which is confusing because 16 is not larger than 20. But when we're talking negatives, it changes things up a bit. All right, thanks for watching.